Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. So of course everyone is more interested in Gunner, but we do have ZORYA's skills out on Pioneer server as well. And she has some interesting things which were not shown in the trailer. We're going to also do a bit of PvP testing to show you her potential. But basically overall I classify ZORYA as a PvP hero. Apart from that, I really find it unlikely for it to have Dream Realm or even AFK stage usage, apart from maybe in budget AFK stage teams. She is very unique and she really is a staller in PvP, but she does that pretty well. Okay, so her ultimate ability, this is the Circle of Vigil. Passive ZORYA skills are powerful and have short cooldowns, but she can only use them while she is awake. I don't get why they say this information, because like, I mean, 8-second cooldown is not necessarily short, and like, it's not like this is actually shorting them even further, but whatever. When a battle starts, ZORYA enters a dormant state. While dormant, she remains invincible and recovers 85 energy and 7% maximum health per second. Once her energy is full, ZORYA awakens and joins a fight. So 85 energy, that is going to be around 12 and a half or so seconds for you to completely wake up. Wait, 12 and a half, is it actually exactly 12 seconds? I think it's actually closer to exactly 12 seconds for you to wake up. So for the first 12 seconds, basically, you're fighting a 4v5 and she's not doing anything. She's cheering you on from the sidelines, and that is why you really need to use it in a stall-oriented team that is able to take the enemy's burst in those 12 seconds and then allow her to actually begin engaging in battle. Yeah, every time ZORYA awakens, she lands in the area with the most enemies, dealing damage to enemies within 2 tiles, stunning them. And while she is awake, she is steadfast and consumes 70 energy per second. Now, 70 that's also different from the trailer. In the trailer, it's 50 energy. So 70 energy per second means that she's going to remain in her active state for like around 15 seconds, 14 to 15 seconds, and then she's going to go dormant for 12 seconds and come back active for 14 to 15 seconds. When her energy is fully depleted, she returns to her dormant state. Effects from sources other than this skill that would grant or drain energy do not modify ZORYA's energy. However, for every 10 energy she would gain from other sources, her attack permanently increases by 1%, stacking up to 100 times. So basically, 100 times 10 energy, 1000 energy? If you give her 1000 energy, she's gonna have 100% boosted attack. That is crazy. Like, imagine just using her with Pandora. This is what people were saying. Like, Pandora doesn't fit in a stall comp, but that's crazy. 100% bonus attack potentially with enough energy boosting. So that is heroes like the twins, like Rowan, like you have Theodore, things like that. But yeah, I mean, that is really interesting, but also kind of strange to how you would actually trigger it. Moving on, Gargoyle Rampart, this is one of her skills. Passive when ZORYA awakens, she hardens into stone-like skin, reducing the damage she takes by 90%. Like, 90% damage reduction? But the effect gradually fades over the next 10 seconds. So, I don't know how, is going to fade from 90% to 0%, which means that, like, you know, like, you're going to have massive damage reduction in the initial seconds, but the problem with that is you're stunning enemies in the initial seconds, so you're not going to get the full value of this damage reduction. By the time they wake up from their stun, it's probably going to be like 60% or 50% damage reduction, and it's going to keep declining over 10 seconds. ZORYA summons arcane wings that sweep forward in a 2-tile arc, dealing damage to enemies hit and knocking them down for 2 seconds. Now, this is definitely interesting because she can have potentially a high attack buff from the energy that she's being granted. She will have a knockdown for 2 seconds, which is not bad, and damage, AoE cleave damage. Now, Devouring Strike, also 8-second cooldown. Passive, while awake, ZORYA gains Bloodlust, increasing her life drain. Whenever an enemy is defeated within 2 tiles, she immediately heals herself for 50% of maximum health. But, like, again, you know, these bonuses for killing an enemy, a nearby enemy, they never seem that attractive to me, because it's like, if you're already killing enemies, you probably already won the match. And, like, you know, otherwise this is not going to help you if the enemy is more resilient. Anyway, active ZORYA deals damage to all enemies within 2 tiles twice. Then she launches an intimidating strike on the target within range, dealing bonus damage plus extra damage proportionate to their lost health. The extra damage cannot exceed 150%. So this is just damage. This is just damage from this skill, and then life drain as well. And that bonus healing, big healing, if you're able to kill an enemy within 2 tiles. Hero Focus increases damage dealt by 15% during battle. If there are 2 or more enemies within 2 tiles, increases damage dealt by an extra 5%. I don't know about this. Like, only 15% damage amp and up to 20% damage amp. I don't see this as being incredibly overpowered or anything. Yeah, like, I just... This is... And also, there's no damage reduction on this skill, which is a bit weird. But she does have damage reduction on her Gargoyle Rampart passive, but it does decline over time. Yeah, I don't know about this. Like... yeah, moving on to exclusive skill, Intimidating Field. While ZORYA is awake, she creates a true-top force field around herself, causing all enemies within it. Now, this is interesting. Enemies lose 80% movement speed and 60 haste. Now, the problem is this is 12 seconds into the match when she's gonna actually be awake. By then, everyone's kind of like locked in place. You're not going to be moving. The kind of the only movement is usually at the beginning of the match, the first few seconds, and then you're in place targeting enemies. And so what really value is 80% movement speed reduction, unless you're going to like crowd control them again or push them back or something. And she's going to gain, the enemies are going to lose 60 haste. Now, losing 60 haste is pretty big. That is going to make enemies much less effective, especially if they're hyper carriers or damage dealers. Tanks don't really mind that much, but 60 haste reduction, it elongates the cooldowns of their skills. It reduces their attack speed substantially. And she also increases her own haste by 20 and it goes up to 40. And haste, of course, is going to lower the cooldowns of her skills, but they're already kind of low cooldown. Whenever an allied hero casts their ultimate, the haste bonus from the force field permanently increases by 15, stacking up to 4 times. Yeah, that's big as well. 15 times 4, a bonus 60 haste, and you start with 40. Like, if you have a plus 15 exclusive equipment, if 4 of your allies have casted ultimates, you're going to have 100 haste. 100 haste is huge, because that means you're going to be attacking at double speed. Your cooldown, instead of 8 seconds, is going to be 4 seconds, right, for these skills. And then you're going to almost be able to chain crowd control and have high damage multipliers, especially with your boosted attack if you've given enough energy to her. And as long as Zorya's HP remains above 50%, she stays unaffected. That's also really strong. She's not crowd controllable by any form. Unaffected is like immune to everything. And that's very strong. So overall, like, when you look at all of this, this is, it's really interesting, but also it's kind of weird, because it's like, she has a lot of things potentially going for her, and like theoretically, on paper you think, oh, she could be potentially really good in PvP. But she has issues as well. The number one issue is that she's forcing your team to fight a 4v5 for the first 12 seconds. And like, honestly, when you talk about top tier PvP columns, that really hurts. It's the same problem with Scarlita. However, I do think that ZORYA is going to have more value than Scarlita when she actually enters a battle. Like, Scarlita, when she enters a battle, sometimes doesn't really even do much. ZORYA is going to have that immediate stun. Then she's going to start smashing the enemies and knocking them down. And then also haste debuffing them by a massive amount. So I overall think ZORYA is better than Scarlita. Maybe like a Scarlita 2.0. But is that enough? You're still going to be fighting 4v5 for the first 12 seconds, which is rough. Enhanced Force. Now, this one is really big. Because what I was worried about is like, okay, if you're talking about stall strategy, she has 12 seconds dormant at the beginning, then she joins the fight. What happens if the enemies kill her in her first active state? Then she's not going to stall very well, right? They all gang up on her and kill her. Now, this protects her from that. When ZORYA would take a fatal blow, she channels all their energy to survive and immediately enters her dormant state. So she's guaranteed 2 dormant states, the initial dormant state at the beginning of battle, and then a secondary one after taking a fatal blow. She's guaranteed a minimum of 2 dormant states, potentially 3 to 4, you know, like if she's able to survive on her own. And that is really then strong, because that means at a minimum, you're going to have 24 seconds of her dormant state, adding to it however much of your active state, let's say another 15 seconds. And if you're able to get a 3rd dormant state, that's going to be, another 12 seconds on top of that. And then you're really talking about stalling. So like ZORYA with Athalia, who Athalia can keep bouncing around and killing enemies. Or ZORYA with Bonnie debuffs, just taking damage over time. Things like that are what come to mind with ZORYA. So overall, I just find that she is, theoretically, you would think, oh, maybe she has a lot of potential in PvP. However, at the same time, you don't discount the fact that forcing your team to fight a 4v5 at the beginning is rough. So we're going to try to find some players to attack. We're going to find someone who set a dual defense. A lot of people are running very strong dual defenses right now, probably testing Gunner as well. Yeah, he's testing Gunner. So this is not even there's no Phantom here. Okay, so this is a very strong team that we're facing, definitely. However, what do we plan? I think I have a plan. I want to go for Earthshell spell. We're going to go for a stall strategy. We're going to put ZORYA up front. We are going to go for a gunner. Gunner of our own. We're going to go for gunner protecting Celise. Gunner protecting Celise. And then we are going to go for Alna. I'm going to go for Alna. And we are going to go for... I want to go for Athalia here. The problem is the enemy Dunlinger is kind of countering us with a Cure Lock. But hopefully we can wear it off and then Celise can ultimate and we can still be fine. Like, we're going to be invincible because of this Alna Gunner, like, Celise combo. So I'm just going to go for Athalia as a final hero here. And see what happens. We have the Earthshell, which is definitely more suited to this. So Athalia may die, but the rest of the team should not die. It's just unfortunate because, like, the enemy is going to get the healing from Celise. My Celise is not going to heal my team at all because of the Cure Lock of the enemy Dunlinger, which is a problem. But if we can wear it off and still get the healing out of Celise, then we have some potential here. So ZORYA has entered the fight, right? ZORYA's entered the fight and she's up front, okay? But it looks like she's about to die. So you even see that that damage reduction that ZORYA has from her skill doesn't really look like enough. She can still be killed, and she's guaranteed a dormant state, but like it's like, well, we're still fighting at a big disadvantage. We don't have enough allies here. Celise can't, well, Celise is gonna get off an ultimate here. Okay, we got ZORYA. Okay, so this is a final chance. We had a Celise ultimate. We have ZORYA here. This is her second active state. Is she gonna be able to do anything combined with Athalia, or is she just gonna die? Look at her. Like, she's lacking damage, and she does die very easily. So obviously, I know they counted us with the Dunlinger, but like, you see this and you're like, well, ZORYA's not really doing anything. She's not really doing anything, and she's not even stalling that great, honestly, because she's gonna get burst in that first life, that first active, and then she's going to, you know, trigger her Supreme Plus and get that fatal, like, immunity to fatal blow. She goes dormant, but then you're like, we need someone to help us out win this fight. Why is everyone running Cure Lock on Dunlinger? Okay. What is another comp? What is another comp that we can try here? I do want to go for Gunner. I do want to go for Gunner. But what if we go for a Dunlinger of our own, right? And we can go ahead and go for Cure Lock. Cure Lock onto the Celise. Okay. So I just want to make sure we have the healing. We have the stall factor. And then maybe we can come out on top, right? Because if our whole team is alive, maybe then we have a chance for ZORYA to do something. We don't have Athalia in this comp, so this is like a really weird full-on stall comp. We don't even, like, you look at it and you're like, well, you don't really have any form of damage. Maybe we should try to, like, run a Kulu in this comp. But at least our Celise is going to be able to heal. So what happened there? They jumped onto Gunner, but Gunner is, like, immune or invincible because of Alna's protection. Okay, ZORYA's in, and we have a full 5-man team alive. Even our Skycross Phantom is alive. So, like, this is our best chance of getting anything done. Dunlinger goes down because of the enemy Aliceth. Right, but now ZORYA, you better do something, because you're literally our only damage apart from like Celise on the team. I mean, she's doing fine now. Look at all of that, but she is gonna die. She basically is almost always gonna die in her first active state. Gunner is firing off his missiles and doing pretty good work. I think we actually might win from the. Oh no, Aliceth got another ultimate off right before we killed her. That's really rough. That's really rough. Our Alna goes down, and ZORYA. ZORYA's like, just give me a few seconds and I'm gonna help you guys out. Now, ZORYA, you better kill everyone here. You need to kill everyone. The problem is Saida is probably, like, she has so many drain seeds on the floor, we're not gonna be able to, like, even kill Saida enough times. Yeah, like, when you look at this, you're like, yeah, I don't see it, honestly. I think that ZORYA, on paper, theoretically, when you read her skills, it seems very interesting. But in practice, you're like, no, this is not what I want on my PvP team. And in AFK stages, it's going to be even worse. Because, like, you need every single hero in your AFK stage team to be providing value for the whole fight. You can't have someone just chilling dormant for 12 seconds. And yeah, it's not like we can even stall out the enemy. Like, even time them out. Because eventually ZORYA is going to go down. So anyway, guys, hopefully this gives you an idea about ZORYA. Let me know your thoughts about her in the comment section down below. I am relieved because, honestly, we've had Sylvan, who now is looking like maybe even some Dream Realm usage in Endless, which is crazy. We've had Solis, which was a must pull, right? Sylvan is still not a must pull in my opinion, but we also have Pippa coming up. We have a lot of, and we have the crossover. We have a lot of basically heroes we will potentially need to invest into. I did not want to invest into ZORYA, and looking at this, yeah, I am not, I am not Paragon upgrading her. I'm not committing to her for PvP because I just do not see how it's going to be anything beneficial to the team. But let me know your thoughts about ZORYA in the comment section down below. Maybe you're seeing something that I do not. But thank you guys all so much for watching. And if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video in a pinned comment. And you can actually bookmark this link in your browser. And whenever you're planning to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. It will support me and be greatly appreciated. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.